Hi guys, Bill here. Today I'm back with another video, and today this is going to be a bit different, but it is about the series, manga slash anime series, called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Today we'll be looking at part 1, Phantom Blood. And being the massive JoJo fan I am, I have the manga. It's reversed because of the camera, but it is the manga. Now, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a series, well, part 1 is about Jonathan Joestar. In fact, the first panel, well, not the first panel, but the main part of it isn't even about him. Well, technically it is, but the first part of the manga is actually involved with Dio and his dad. I can't really remember his name, but it's something Brando. Anyway, Dio Brando is born with evil inside him. He's just pure evil and nothing else. And he eventually in the series, kind of a spoiler alert, turns into a vampire, but not the kind of vampire like you know. And Jonathan Joestar, Jonathan Joestar, is a manly man, but in the first part he is 12 years old, and believe me, he does not look it. But as soon as Dio Brando comes in, he starts causing trouble. Okay then, with that out of the way, let's go with the first volume. And what's in it? It starts off with a woman being sacrificed. She gets stabbed in the chest, and then the man takes the blood and puts it over the stone mask. Out of the mask comes like knives, and they go into his brain. Well, they're not kind of knives. They're kind of like thingy shapes, but I'll show you. Keep in mind that the first thing isn't in colour. Basically, prongs, sort of. These come out and penetrate his brain. This then turns into a vampire. We delve more into the stone mask in part 2, Battle Tendency, but that's not about this current one. Anyway, once that's done, it cuts straight to Diego. It's cut straight to Dio and his father. His father is in a bad state and is about to die, but it is revealed eventually in the series that it may have been Dio who killed him. Anyway, this then leads into why it's important to show Dio. Jonathan Joestar's father, George Joestar the First, was in a carriage accident with his wife and Jojo. All of them died except him and Jojo. In fact, in the first part, it is shown what happened to the driver, you could say. I'm not going to reveal it here because of YouTube's policy, but it is gory. After that, Dio's Brando's father is stealing his jewellery. Well, not his jewellery, it's like a ring. And this then revolves. Sorry about this, Dario Brando. Dario tries to steal him, but George Joestar wakes up. He then asks what has happened. Is his wife and son dead? Dario then concludes that his wife has been killed, but his son is fine. And then Dario's wife or girlfriend then reveals that the baby is alive. But Dario doesn't care about it, and since they're rich, he just steals the things. And once he wakes up, George Joestar realises his wallet has been stolen, as we all know why, and then asks him that he is in forever debt of the Brando family. And then this reels into Dario. He has wrote a letter to George Joestar saying that Dio is to be adopted by them. And it works. Believe it or not, Dio actually makes a really good entrance. He's in a horse carriage. He jumps out of it, then lands. He's then met by Jonathan and Danny, the dog. Dio, then being the person he is, kicks him. I'm not sure if I should share this, but here you go. Then Jonathan gets angry. But George is still reluctant to do anything since his father has recently died. Not but Dio's father has recently died. Once that happens, Jonathan goes to pick up Dio's suitcase but hits him since a mutt has touched it. Now, let's just skip past it and get to the real part. Now, in order to get at Jonathan, since he has been happy recently, he eventually figures out that it's his girlfriend, Irina Pendleton, or Pendleton, depending on which one you read, or see. He then kisses her and then proclaims that she has not had her first kiss with Jonathan, yet she has had it with him, Dio. And this is a popular meme that is used by people as for such, like, you expected a drawing, but it was I, Dio. After this skip, there is a big skip. It then shows Dio and Jonathan in a rugby game. Jonathan is running to the try line, but is get put down by 4 men. He then passes the ball to Dio, who lands it. Reporters start coming up to Dio and ask him, "What is your relationship with Jonathan?" He then says that there is no relationship between them. Once they return, they then find us, the viewers, then find out what has happened to George Joestar. He has come down with the illness similar to Dario Brando. It is then sort of implied by Jonathan that the medicine Dio has been given him is sort of a treatment per se that has weakened him. The only reason Jonathan knows this is because of the letter given to George Joestar by Dario Brando. It reveals he has had all the same symptoms as George. Jonathan then thinks that it's possible that Dio is trying to poison George Joestar in order to get the fortune. This is kind of true. Dio then finds the stone mask. The only reason he knows about the powers of the stone mask is because of Jonathan, because of the fight that they had, which I forgot to mention. I am really sorry. Once blood comes out of Dio's mouth, it goes all over the stone mask, and then the prongs thing starts happening. He then thinks that is a good way to get rid of JoJo, since he is trying to stop Dio from getting the thing. Meanwhile, Jonathan is in Ogre Street, and he gets attacked by men. One of these being Speedwagon. Speedwagon is important in the series, but you'll figure out why. Speedwagon then tells his men to leave Jonathan alone, since he is the most, polite people that he has met, and has good morals. He then leads him to a Chinese person who's told him that not drugs, but kind of. Jonathan and secretly Speedwagon then return to London, back to the Joestar Manor. Once this has happened, Jonathan then sees Dio, who has been up at night, thinking that Jonathan is still alive. He then tries the stone mask on someone, but is then perplexed that it turns people into vampires. The vampire breaks his arm, but is eventually killed by the sunlight. Dio then tries to make Jonathan think that he has turned good, but this is not the case. Speedwagon, being magical, I guess, tells Jonathan that this is all faked by him and that he is the most stinkiest person of evil he has ever met. It is then revealed that there is police there and George Joestar is there. As Dio is going to be arrested by Jonathan's going to put handcuffs on him. Dio then reveals a knife on the stone mask. In the panel, it is not specified about who gets stabbed, but it is then scrolled out, and you can see George Snowstar with a knife in his back and Jonathan screaming, "Dad." After that has happened, Dio puts the mask on his face and smears the blood on him. This then thing is a bright light. Once this happens, the police then shoot him. Then it is seen that apparently Dio has died, which is not the case. Then after that has happened, George Joestar dies, thinking to his wounds. Once that has happened, it is seen that Dio's corpse is not there. He then kills a police officer and tries to kill Jonathan, which goes out in an all-out battle and thus spawns another meme, "Goodbye JoJo," in the anime. Now, let's just skip most of the stuff that happens after then, since it's not important. It's just basically Jonathan in a hospital wing. He then meets up with Irina. After that, they then meet William A. Zepilli. Zepilli. It's then revealed that he is a Hamon user, or Ripple user, depending on who you are. I'm personally a Hamon person myself. He then pierces Jonathan with his, not pierce, but pokes Jonathan really hard, and that alters his breathing, so he's then able to use Hamon to defeat Dio. Let's just have a right skip and then go to the main part. Jonathan versus Dio. Before this, he has fought with two people, Tarkus and Blueford. Tarkus uses his hair and... No, Blueford uses his hair and Tarkus is just rough. Tarkus loses. Once this has happened, after this duel, Zepilli dies, giving all his Hamon to Jonathan. Since Jonathan kinda died, but he didn't. Once this has happened, Jonathan is all ready to duel out with Dio. He's a full Hamon user, kind of, and his abilities now allow him to defeat Dio. Most of this then spawns the Muda, or useless thing in JoJo. It's said by Jonathan after he says that Jonathan's Hamon training has proven him nothing and it's useless, that it's limited, and that human ability is limited and finite, and that's why it became a vampire. Once this has happened, Jonathan then only defeats Dio with a straight punch through his chest, but Dio can freeze stuff, so the only way Jonathan can do this is putting his glove through fire, then it's allowing him to slip through Dio's fire thing. This then allows him to defeat Dio, but it's revealed in the panels later that Dio cut off his head. Jonathan and Irina then get married, making Irina Joestar. They go on a boat to go to their honeymoon, which never happens. It is revealed that Dio's head is actually on the ship, and that a coffin is on there. In the anime, this is sort of revealed that it is Dio, not only by the Dio lettering, but it also makes a re sound in the coffin, which is really silent. But one of the men can still hear it. But Dio's true motives are revealed once Jonathan and him in the ship. He's trying to chop Jonathan's head off just so he can use his body. And he does it, killing Jonathan, well, kind of, by using he takes a fluid from his eye and turns it into a laser that then it is meant to cut off Jonathan's head like that, but Jonathan blocks it by doing this, and it goes through his neck here. This then makes him unable to breathe, thus making him unable to use Hamon. He doesn't kill Dio, but he manages to stab him and get him in his hands, enclosing him. So Dio can't go anywhere. I'm going to say a quote that Jonathan says, since it is a good quote, I believe. Dio, it's like you said. Maybe we really are two as one. I even feel a bizarre relationship between us. And now, our fates have intertwined. They'll disappear together as the ship explodes. Once he says that, with Dio in his hands, he then speaks to his wife, Irina, saying, "Farewell or take care, Irina." He then dies in the ship. The ship explodes, supposedly killing Dio. And that is the end. But at the end of each manga, there is this thing. There is a kind of thing, interview with Araki. And believe it or not, there is actually a later part referenced in the cover. See here, you may not be able to see it right if I just that is actually a steel ball from Steel Ball 1 race, which shouldn't happen since Steel Ball 1 is based in a whole different universe. Anyway, to wrap up this nearly 20-minute video, I personally think part 1 is a good part. Some people think that Jonathan is a boring protagonist, but believe it or not, he may not be, as a video done by a JoJo YouTuber. Jonathan must have been one of the most interesting JoJo's at the beginning, since it allowed Araki from his series being cancelled and him being able to manage to make other parts. JoJo is currently on its 8th part, JoJo Liam. But the other parts are good as well. I personally like this part. And I think you might too if you get to read it. There are tons of manga reading sites, but I would recommend getting the hardcovers since they're the best quality manga you'll most likely ever have. The first, just to wrap up this video, you have Jonathan Joestar there in the current art style. You then have Dio. Next, you have William A. Zapilli. Then you have Bluford. And for the final one, you have Dio and what is Jonathan Joestar. But personally, this kind of looks like Joseph Joestar to me. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. There will be other things of the parts coming soon, and there will be a collab between me and a fellow YouTuber, Silver Productions, about the JoJo OVAs. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Bye.